Welcome. This is the No1 podcast. I am your host, Coach Jake. And hey, what's up, Penn Gang Mastermind? What's up, Daniel? Long time no see, my friend. So hope you guys are doing good. I'm just getting some crazy feedback on this clubhouse. Hey, what's up, Sammy Jam, Garrett Chance, GTRZ? Happy to see you guys. Basil, Uncle Life, Tony Patricelli. Happy to see you guys. So what's going on? What's good? It's been a minute. I've been so doggone busy traveling. I just got back last weekend from the Mojave Desert. We were at Pinion Hills, Labyrinth Martial Art Retreat. Had a great camp out there. And then this weekend, we're in Denver at V10 Martial Arts. These are the V10 is a MMA gym in Denver, South Denver. And yeah, man, super duper stoked. Hold on, I'm going to see what I can do to get rid of this feedback that I'm getting out of this microphone. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a roll call. Where are you guys? I'm getting crazy feedback. I might have to stop jamming through Clubhouse because I keep getting all this crazy feedback. I don't know what is all this. Anyway, yeah, man, it has been crazy. So just got back from Pinion Hills. What's up, man? I got James Borgia, Prince Vegitex. What's up, Tony? Good. Aoki Sumitsu. What's up, Drew? Happy to see you. Alex Cerveza. Good. Thanks, Dan. Newark, New Jersey in the house. Awesome. So yeah, I might just kill this, man. I'm sorry, but we're just gonna have to cut out of. We're gonna kill the room over at Clubhouse because it's giving me crazy feedback. So I'm done with that business. Yeah. So man, we had a great camp out at Pinion Hills. Worked. Had my longtime pal there with me. Sam couldn't make it. He was busy hawking his wares at the Salt Lake City Comic-Con. Ironically, my kids were there because they wanted to go see a couple celebrities that were there. So, but I was able to bring out Luis Ojeda, who is a longtime name with a coach with Scientific Wrestling. A lot of you guys are familiar with him. Worked some brutal, man. He is like a headlock machine, dude. Worked some killer stuff. It was super duper fun. So missed you if you couldn't make it. We will be back in Southern California at the Arena MMA in San Diego. So sign up. Spots go fast. We had wonderful attendance last time. We had Liz Carmouche, lightweight, Bellator lightweight champ at the camp, amongst a lot of the other regulars. What's up, Sebastian? Good to see you, bro. Miss you too, dude. Yeah, see you in San Diego. Wish you could have made it. I understand. Keep hustling. Sebastian, I've shared his he's a scientific wrestler and he's kicking ass. He's been with us for a long time. Comes under scientific wrestling coach Jesse Merez. Peng Gang. Where do we sign up? You go to coachingcatch.com. So you go to coachingcatch.com. I'm going to throw that up for the people. You guys can't see it. I don't have the same graphics I can do for you that I do with YouTube and whatnot. But coachingcatch.com, click. Your first camp is $377. That comes with lifetime membership to Scientific Wrestling. Comes with a T-shirt. You get certified, a certificate. And then after that, you're grandfathered in $250 for the 2 days of training forever until you get certified. Okay. Dan, Mastermind Martial Arts. Dan's a badass. Says, been using these techniques in my training already this week. Lots of little details make all the difference. Yeah. Unfortunately for your partners, they're getting crushed. I know it. Dan says, go to these camps. Anyone serious owes it to themselves. Thanks, dude. And about Dan's like a stud, man. Dan's a 3rd degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So, the problem is sometimes what we're teaching is so advanced and so far ahead that it just goes over everybody's heads. You know what I mean? I was seeking out, like, everybody's all on leg locks now, dude. Like, we were doing leg locks in 2003. I don't know what to tell you. So, like, listen to guys like Dan who know what the hell they're talking about. I don't know what to tell you. Show up. This is called an accelerator camp because it's a grind, but you will massively, that's my promise to you, you will massively improve after just one camp. And if you keep coming back sharpening your saw, dude, you're going to be a ninja. I am super excited for the camp this week because it's at our first American affiliate. Now, we had our first affiliate, who are the guys in Canada, Marco and Carmen. They were at the Pinion Hills camp. They're at every camp. That, by the way, when you do affiliate, you get tuition in full paid for the camps. Okay, you get 2 of them. That's why Marco and Carmen come to every camp. They're almost, I mean, I think they've clocked 4 or 5 camps already, and you have to hit 10 camps for assistant coach and another 10 for full coach. So you see how quick they are, and they're on their way. By the way, if you're up in Windsor, Ontario, or Detroit, which is very close, go check them out. Scientific Wrestling Canada. Google it, type it, whatever, you can get there. Big Papa Greek, what's up? Yeah, Pangang, no problem, dude. I hope to see you at one. I promise, dude, it'll blow your mind. It does. This is the biggest feedback I get. B Weed, what's up, dude? Jose Daga the wrestler, what's up, dude? Tranquilo, nice. Danikin Len, free weed. Okay, Montezi, happy to see you guys. Also, super good news. We have a new affiliate in Orlando, just waiting for the ink to dry. Super excited to make that announcement, who it is. And you guys out in Orlando are now going to have a place to go. Okay, so super duper stoked. What else is new? Now some news that is not great news for some of you. It's great news for somebody, for one person. I have set this up because this is a business. The mission of Scientific Wrestling is to improve the lives of everyone on earth through scientific wrestling, right? Through the sport of professional wrestling. Catch as catch can. The sport, the real thing. Jojo Collins Pro, love your page, man. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Put a lot of work into it. Taking me a minute, so I appreciate all. It's always nice to have somebody throw you some bones when you've done a lot of work. Anyway, so here's the news. As I've said since the beginning, the first 8 people who affiliate, I guess, the first 8 people who affiliate get a $2,000 early adopter bonus. Okay, so you get that taken off the price right at the gate. Okay, so the guy who's signing today, the second I get that ink dried, it's going to be gone. That was the deal. All you guys had the same chance as the first 8 that signed up. I'm really excited. It's all right. You can give me a congratulations. I'm super excited. You can congratulate all the guys who joined on the mission of Scientific Wrestling. I'm super amped, but we've got 8 affiliates now. This is mind-blowing. I'm about ready to get started on the Scientific Wrestling documentary, which should be badass. Super stoked on that. I will offer one more affiliate at the early adopter level. After that, it goes up. Now, we offer financing. So, a lot of these affiliate offers, it's like, it depends who you affiliate with, but it's like $300-$400 a month forever. Okay. We have a one-time fee, and then after that, a very low annual renewal fee. Very low. The one-time fee, you can finance it to break it up. I guarantee you it's going to be the lowest and best deal in terms of the value stack. You can go check out scientificwrestler.com, see what the other 8 guys already signed up for. Dude, these are going like hotcakes. We literally started this in spring, and we're already at 8 affiliates. So I'm very, 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 very excited. The mission is well underway. And I'm very, very proud of everybody who's signed on. Guys, check out the offer at scientificwrestler.com. Okay, it's amazing. Now, I have to go and update some of that because when I rewrote it, we were only at 4 affiliates. So now You just have to update your model. The next person that signs up, you need to message me, DM me, and let's get on the phone and figure this out. If you own a gym and you're looking to add scientific wrestling curriculum, products, competitions, because you get a promoter license, Mace Bell training, the Coach and Catch curriculum, the only one co-developed and endorsed, the only one by Billy Robinson, King of Catch, the only catch wrestling rule set co-developed by Carl Gotch. You get to be a part of this family. You get to be a part of this movement. Okay? Just saying. So scientificwrestler.com, super amped. And like I said, now we got a Coach and Catch camp coming up in Denver. After that, end of the month, I think the 21st, that weekend, October 21st, we're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. So come on out to that. If you're in Southern California, if you're in Colorado, if you're in Arizona, come on out. Texas, you can drive out, man. I'm just telling you, you're missing out. It's going to be me, Sam Crescent, 3rd degree black belt, been with me a long time. Very good catch wrestling coach. Who else? Oh, and then after that, after Phoenix, then we go to San Diego, and that'll be me and Sam and probably Luis. And then we're going to go out to Charlotte. We've never been there before. Fit to Fight. It's a gym out there. We're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's going to be me, Sam, and Dave Patron on the cradles. Killer camp. Sign up, guys. Like, there is limited availability. All levels are welcome. We are going to turn you into a freaking machine if you come to camp. If you don't, you only have yourself to blame, man. Listen, I hate to tell you this. You have to commit. Like, okay, enough of that stuff. I'm just super amped. I wanted to talk today about pride. Okay? I want to talk to you about pride. Dan, Mastermind Martial Arts, says, take advantage of these camps, guys. Seriously. This is a 3rd degree black belt stud. I don't know. Guys, you can go look at the testimonials, man. I don't know what to tell you. I if I could reach through the screen and grab you and make you type all the shit in to register, I would do it. But I can't. So do it for yourself, okay? Improve. Listen to Dan, man. He knows what he's talking about. Anyway, want to talk about pride. And I'm not necessarily talking about pride fighting championships, although we could talk about that. I love pride. Probably the best. Let's do a vote. Best MMA organization ever. Rank. Number 1, Pride. Number 2, Pancras. Number 3, I'll give it to UFC. Okay? But 1 is coming up, man. I really am digging 1. Just going to be real. I love you, UFC. You're cool. And then after Pride and 1, maybe Shuto. Maybe. I don't know. Throw me out some of your votes, guys. So I say first is Pride. I'm actually wanting to talk about the concept Pride, not the fighting organization. But first one is Pride. What's up, Chad? What's up, L Perfect Perkins? 40T Chapo, Redbeard, the Tatted, Loki, the Black, Selix, Danny Boy, Milky Ashy, Jerry Stumbaugh. Happy to see you guys. Pride, number 1. Matheson 77. Is there a belt system in catch wrestling like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Let me answer a question with a question. Is there a belt system in boxing? Is there a belt system in Muay Thai? The answer, of course, is no. In fact, people kind of look at you a little sideways. In Catch as Catch Can, you're either a fan, you're an athlete, you're a coach, or you're a promoter, or some combination of all of the above. That's it. Okay? Just like wrestling, just like boxing, just like MMA. Is there a belt system? Well, I guess there is. And same for catch, the only belt system is gold. There's either no belt or a gold belt, period. That doesn't, it's just not a hierarchical system like that. It's like you either win or you don't. And one of the things that I really let's talk about Pride Fighting Championships. One of the things that I really liked about them is they were very invested in the idea of fighting spirit, right? And so it was about that. It was about, like, you could lose, but as long as you gave everything in the fight, you still won over the fans. That is kind of ethos, right? I believe it, right? So anyway, got Tom over on Facebook. What's up, Tom? Got the UK in the fucking house, bro. Dude, Tom is one of my favorite people. Only worked out with you, I know, that one camp, but dude, you were a stud. You were definitely on it. Oops, let me make sure I get the right one here. Any coaching planned in the UK coming up? I like to learn more. So yeah, sir. I am working right now. Actually, do you remember Brendan over there, Premier? We're trying to figure it out. If you want to help me with this, you've got my info. DM me. I basically probably need to, because I like to run camps. I don't like to do seminars. I know that's against the grain, and blah, blah, blah. I'm more interested in making you guys killers, and so I want to run a camp, and I'm going to fly all the way over there anyway. It's my expenses are going to be around $6,000. Okay. So if we figure out, and again, you'd have to do the conversion. I think you guys are close to the dollar right now, unfortunately. So if we do a conversion, let's say $250 a person, if we get 30 people invested, it's done. So that's kind of the work that needs to be done, just so you know. Okay. Just letting you know. And I would love to get back there. So I am working on it. I am trying to talk to Brendan over there to make it happen. And I would love to see you guys, dude. You're like so cool, man. Oh, we got Brandon Ruiz on the YouTube. Pride was the best overall show with the best overall stable of fighters. I would argue then and even now, dude. You are my brother from another mother, dude. 100%. So let's see. What does Brandon say? But I'd like to hear about the pride talk as a topic, as I'm assuming you're going to talk about it as a concept and how it can either help you or hurt you. Yeah, I do. That's where I want to go. You're dead spot on. So we've got Israel, Miss July 7, Masi Marty 69, Ishmael, Cat Necula, the living dead you fear, Demigoon. Okay, Demigoon says UFC is king. I love Pride Fighting Championship, but there was a bunch of weird shit going on in that organization. Performance enhancing drugs, rigged matches. Okay, dude, I'm totally digging, and thank you for the comment very much. I would maybe argue that you take that PED, the performance enhancing drugs, and the rigged matches, and turn that light onto your beloved promotion as well. Now that said, for sure. I mean, what I think ultimately buried Pride, sadly, was the Yakuza involvement. But, what is the point of a fight promotion? This is kind of what you have to ask yourself. Is it to find the best? Is it to find the best person on the planet? To me, that's a little bit of there's a lot of people that think that's what it's about, but that's a mark. Like what we call a mark in pro wrestling. Yeah, that's a sucker, right? The point of a promotion, as I understand it, and as what I try to do, is to really, really showcase the sport and get as much exposure as humanly possible, and that takes money. Okay, so to showcase the sport in the best light, and get the broadest level of involvement and watching. Given that, I loved the Pride model because it was so exciting. There was so much pageantry, really great matchups. It just was intoxicating. Now, I'm not sure how old you are, but if you were my age when there was Pride versus UFC, it was like hands down, like there wasn't even a comparison. The level, and I'm going to be real, like the product of UFC hasn't really changed since then. It's still the same level of product. It's a great product, don't get me wrong, but man, Pride was a whole other level. Mastermind says that 10-minute first round of Pride separated the men from the boys. Plus, grappling in a ring has to be adjusted for much differently than a cage. Yeah, and to me, the iconography of the ring, honestly, subconsciously or something, just sits better with me. It just sits better with me, right? It's just been around forever. I can actually see better. Anyway, Demigoon says that he loved the 10-minute round as well. What's up, Gilbert? Dude, we got Coach Gil in the house. So Gil Olivas, it's at his gym that we're going to be in Phoenix. So after this Denver camp at the end of October, we're going to be at his. So what's up, Gil? Happy to see you. Dan, Mastermind Martial Arts, says, plus those fighter introductions were something special. Yeah, man. I mean, and it was just sick. It was so cool. The booking was great. The promotion, the commentary, the athletes, the rule set, it was brutal. And then, there's something that I think is hard to replicate outside of Japan, and that's the Japanese audience. They're very educated. They're very respectful. And you could tell that they loved the product. They loved it, man. And you could tell with the attendance. The attendance was like through the freaking roof. What's Brandon got to say? Brandon's on YouTube. Brandon Ruiz, world champ. Haha, like UFC doesn't have the same exact issues, right? Like, right. Seriously, the U.S. Mafia is still involved in UFC. They just smart enough to not get caught. I mean, like once you get to a certain level of involvement, you just know these things. And yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you with all that. Okay, so you guys can keep throwing down. Again, me, Pride number 1. I'd say Pancras number 2. Third and fourth is between UFC and 1. I might have to actually give the edge to 1 because this is something that I believe is going to give me an edge with Shoot Pro Wrestling. First of all, I don't got punching and kicking, so I can be outside of the athletic commissions, right? Like that's a big problem. So it's a grappling competition, just like Fight to Win or EBI or any of that kind of stuff. But the other advantage that I have that I also think that 1 is taking advantage of, and UFC would be smart to fucking figure this out, but they think like a boxing promotion and not like a pro wrestling promotion, is that 1 allows different kinds of fights. They will have MMA, they will have grappling, they will have Muay Thai. To me, it makes a variety show. And a variety show, it's got variety. It keeps, it's not just the same fucking format, pardon my language, over and over and over again. I've been watching UFC since 1994. And that they got to mix it up a little bit, dude. I'm not saying it's stale because just the nature of fighting in itself is exciting. But they got to mix it up. Shoot Pro Wrestling, dude, go to YouTube. Shoot Pro Wrestling 2. I did tag team. It's the first time competitive professional wrestling tag teams have been done. That's mind-blowing. It's so freaking exciting. It is literally crazy shit you'll ever see. I did triple shoots, which are like a triple threat match, but actually competitive. Okay, unlike WWE. So I could do a lot of the stuff WWE does, right? As long as I can figure out how to make it workable. But so I get variety, right? So let's see. Brandon, we got Brandon on fire now. What's he saying here? He says, how about some of the smaller shows that were gatekeepers? Like King of the Cage was good. Hook and Shoot. Yeah. Rings. IFL. I liked IFL a lot. IFC. These were some great opportunities. MMA back in the early 2000s. Yeah, that's true. Strike Force. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. And then Brandon's got to represent because he's in he's the world champ, tag team champ with LeDuc. Brandon Ruiz, one of the Catch Cowboys. You guys got to go to YouTube, man. Go check it out. It's freaking insane. I'm very proud of all the guys that participated because they're crazy like me, but really laid it on the line. And man, it's a great show. It's a great show, So, what's up, Gil? Gil just bought the first badge for Scientific Wrestling. Dude, you are the man. Thanks, homeboy. Appreciate you. What's up, JB Cole 74? I will see you tomorrow. He's here in Colorado. He's coming to camp. It's going to be sick. We're going to have a great time. If you haven't been to our affiliate gym down it's actually called Aurora, Colorado. It's like South Denver. It's a suburb. Dude, it's sick. Yeah, I love Genesis. That's where I normally go because they're close to my house. Plus all the guys, it's like family. It's really cool. Coach Jake over there and Jake Ramos. Plus top 5 MMA gym in the world, Genesis. Great place. And that's really nice. You go into Genesis, they have the ring from UFC 1. It's unbelievable. It's giant. You would not believe how big that ring was that they had for UFC one. Like now it's smaller than the first ring. It's crazy. Anyway, Genesis is great, but now in South Denver, V10 training, which is Vernon Earwood, who's our affiliate down there, dude, he's got like 2 boxing rings, an MMA cage, wrestling mats, bikes, weights. It is huge. It is amazing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous gym. You got to check it out. All the stuff. And I'm excited because me and my assistant coach, John Fabricatori, that guy's been with me. He went to the very first, I think he's the only guy who's been with me since the very, very beginning. Went to the very first coaching catch, certified catch wrestler certification in 2006. It was actually before Billy Robinson. You guys may not know that, but yes, it existed before Billy Robinson. We had Dick Cardinal as our coach for 2 camps, and he was at the very first ones. And John, he's going to be there on Sunday. He's actually out of town, but leading up, because everybody at that MMA gym, we've got fights. So I'm super excited. These guys are going to crush it. In fact, I think we have one guy that's going to be on in a fight that's when he wins it, he's going to be getting a contract from Dana White. So it's super exciting. Seeing scientific wrestling hit the big stage, not just with Shoe Pro Wrestling, but in MMA. That's really where we find our groove. Again, that goes kind of to the question that was brought up: is there a belt ranking system in catch? And I'm like, well, is there a belt ranking in MMA? Is there a belt ranking in boxing or Muay Thai? No. And the thing is, like boxing, like if you look at like Muay Thai versus Taekwondo, okay, both have different rules, systems, whatever, but one's prize fighting, okay? Prize fighting, people don't really give a shit about your belt. They just want to win money, right? So, and sometimes they don't want to let people know what their belt rank is, or what their level of fighting is when they're fighting for money. So something to consider, right? It's a completely different way of looking at things. So it's really about competency. Like, can you win with this or not? I hope that helps. So, okay, all that aside, again, I already gave you my rank. Nobody else has given me rank except for Brandon and who was the other guy? Demigoon said UFC. Me, I think it goes Pride, Pancras, UFC 1, kind of tie, and again, I'm giving 1 just a slight edge right now, and then maybe Shuto after that last, because Shuto, God love them, because they were the first real, in my opinion, like kind of really serious about MMA way before UFC. Pancrase opened its doors even before UFC. So, catch wrestling is at the heart of MMA. I hate to break it to you. But they kind of went trendy, and they stopped having like kind of that Sayama influence in a lot of the catch wrestling, and it really started looking a lot more just like jiu-jitsu and typical MMA that you see. But anyway, that's why I've ranked them low, because I still put them on the board because of the fact that they're seminal. They were like so huge. All right. Ex-Trigger Mortis, baby bottom feeder, happy to see you. Cypher Life bought a badge. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You guys are you're really that I appreciate that, man, because I'm gonna tell you, it takes money to run this shit, dude. It does. I mean, and even just being here, right? Like, I don't know. I talk about business a lot on this because I think it's important, Demigoon says, how do you feel about Gordon Ryan, and who do you think has the best shot at beating him? I think Gordon Ryan's great. Obviously, numbers don't lie. I think he's really good. I honestly think Bo Nickel, but again, I would love to see it in MMA because I think the rule set's more open. But I don't ever think that'll happen, because I just don't see Gordon Ryan putting at risk what he's done in kind of the jiu-jitsu no-gi world at risk in MMA. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to see that. I think you give Bo Nickel a couple years to adapt the wrestling to this game and give him some. I would love to get Bo Nickel in on catch as catch can strategies. Obviously, you got to know jiu-jitsu as well, but like I would love to show him some of these things, like how to set up submissions from Nelsons and cradles, and how to really use leg locks against the guard and things like that. That's what I'd like. Hey, Demagoon, thanks for buying a badge, dude. I appreciate it. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. We've got oh man, Brandon is on fire today, man. What's he say? While I agree with you, no belts on some level, I do genuinely like and enjoy the belt ranks as a symbol of overall knowledge and proficiency. Yeah, I could see that. And from a business perspective, especially if you're running a retail martial arts place, it's great for retention. What I'm trying to do to kind of get around the belts, because every time I talk about belts, people get all creeped out. And I agree, it just doesn't fit with wrestling. But I do think maybe something like Boy Scout badges, like you can get your Nelson badge, you can get your leg lock badge, you can get your cradles badge, things like that to demonstrate some sort of proficiency. But I think the ultimate proficiency is just get on the mat. I don't like some of that because it just leads to posturing and ego and stuff when it's just, what I find with wrestlers, especially when I'm coaching them in MMA, they always have that white belt mindset and they're always willing to work real hard. And sometimes I wonder if that is, I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I wonder if that isn't sometimes because we don't give them these attaboys for nothing. Not to say that a belt isn't for nothing, but it is great for retention, and it is. So I'm kind of torn. I see what you're saying, but ultimately, I'm not going to do it. So let's see. What's trying to figure this out. Brandon says, for the majority of practitioners, the rankings are a great way to stay motivated and engage progress for retail martial arts. Yeah. But if you also look at like a boxing gym, you'll have guys that just love boxing. They just go in there for boxing. Now, mind you, I will like the business model is different, right? So like an MMA gym is not really going to have a belt ranking system. They just don't care. They just want to train people in MMA and people that want to train MMA. The ranking system is very good for retail martial arts. I don't disagree. And you're right. So if your business model is retail, it's good to do something like that to incentivize retaining people, client retention. Gordon Ryan is unstoppable right now. This is Brandon Ruiz. He literally one hand choked Andre Galvao. No one's going to catch him for a long time. Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, again, I just see maybe in MMA, somebody might be able to mix them up a little bit. Also, there will be drug testing in MMA. So that could possibly change the complexion of things, no pun intended. But who knows? I don't see it happening because he's making too much money outside of MMA and it would put a lot of that money at risk. So I don't see him doing it, and he's getting a little older anyway. Bo Nickel, I think, has a really amazing future. I'm really excited. I'm super stoked he got signed. And I think he's going to just crush people, especially as he starts to mature. Yeah. So but I will say this, like and I actually talk with Brandon about this all the time, dude. What they are calling new jiu-jitsu and no gi, which is just branding, and I think it's stupid branding, honestly. It's just grappling, and grappling's been around for a very, very long time. And if you just speak and look, you can get pedantic and kind of anal and petty about things, but look, isn't jiu-jitsu technically supposed to be in a fucking gi? And if it's not, then it's not jiu-jitsu. Maybe you're using jiu-jitsu techniques, but now you can't use a lot of the gi techniques. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of this could be, you could ruin it with just being argumentative. I look at Gordon Ryan, I see him as a grappler. And honestly, like, he looks a lot more like a catch wrestler than he does a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm just saying, like, when I look at like just his physique and what he's winning with, looks a lot more like 1993, 94 Lions Den. I'm sorry, 94, 95 Lions Den than jiu-jitsu. So I don't know. it all evolves. The sport evolves, and as information becomes available, that you're going to integrate it. And look, man, there's a hell of a lot of wrestling in it now, a hell of a lot of leg locks, a lot of the stuff that comes from catch as catch can, short chokes, face cranks. So, I mean, it's just hard. It's to me, I argue that catch as catch can wrestling is the biggest, greatest, most impactful martial art combat sport, but I'll even say bigger than all sports ever. And I can make that argument and win. I'm missing some other comments here. So Demigoon says, I hate the belt system. Scientific Wrestling Canada, what is up, Marco? Just talking about you guys being out in Pinion Hills. Gilbert, Coach Gil, Scientific Wrestling Coach. My guys are awarded rank and SAW in addition to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but they don't mostly care about the SAW rank. It's really about what you can apply when you're wrestling. I mean, yeah, I just don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I don't know. I'm too much like Miyagi, man. Belt just holds up my pants. Demigoon, but I started wrestling. I don't know. Yeah, dude. See, I think when you have more of a Western approach to it, it's just about like practicality, winning contests. Catch wrestling came up and what came into existence through betting. Like, so that's, I think, really where people, where the catch wrestling ethos really is at its heart. Brandon, regarding Gordon Ryan, he praised him and then said, as much as I like to see somebody else take over, he says, doesn't see anybody dethroning him. Matheson. So Matheson 79. So your coach has to tell you that you have passed the smell test. Dude, it's like an apprenticeship, man. Like, is there a belt in a trade school to say like, oh, you've got a purple belt in plumbing and now you can do XYZ? I mean, you apprentice for a number of years, you work hard. There's a master at the craft who helps you, and eventually you could start doing it on your own. That's the litmus test. I don't know if the coach giving you this sniff test, winning medals. There's a bunch of different ways that the West has approached this different than the staunch hierarchy of Eastern belt systems, right? Gilbert the coach, no-gi jiu-jitsu equals no pin catch. Yeah, I've been saying that for years. It's the same. It's just dumb fucking language. It's all grappling. This is the thing that drives me nuts. Stop calling it no-gi. It's not even a fucking word. It's a portmanteau. A portmanteau is a combination of two words to create a word that never existed. And it's English, no, and fucking Japanese, gi. That's stupid. It's two syllables. Use grappling. Same thing. People know what it is. It's been around forever. It's already in the dictionary. People know what except a lot of people like to have that like in-group language so they sound fancy and no-gi, what's that? Well, clearly you don't know. And then they act all fucking, I don't know, man. People are so pretentious and like pecking order. It's just stupid. What's Brandon say? The craft, ha ha ha. You see what I'm doing there? Catch world order, bro. Catch world order. Demigoon in grappling, I hate to say it, I don't see Gordon losing to anyone. Not for a while, dude. I mean, he's clearly exceptionally talented. Like just a killer athlete, dude. And had he come in through wrestling, had he come through, it's like George St. Pierre. Like, dude, these are just guys who are their ability to adapt and learn. I mean, George St. Pierre was Billy Robinson's favorite athlete. And I think it was because of his ability to learn. And I think Gordon has that same thing. So, I think this is where people get confused too. A lot of this has to do with the particular athlete and not the style and not even the coach per se. I think the style and the coach are important, but the athlete is really the X factor that makes the difference. Cypher Life, gotta run, be good. Thanks, bro. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Baby bottom feeder. How about a face tattoo system? Yeah, that's for prison, bro. Wrong. I think you're on the wrong chat here. Gilbert the coach, submission wrestling sounds cooler than no-gi. Dude, that's what it was called when I started, man. I would ask people, do you want to do some submission wrestling? This is 94. That does sound cooler to me. And, honestly, submission means you win with a submission. Wrestling means you win with a pin. That's catch wrestling, right? And that's what those original Lions Den, they didn't call it catch wrestling, even though they learned it through the Carl Gotch way, right? They called it submission wrestling. So I think there's some precedents. Okay. Man, we're 40 minutes and I still haven't gotten to the point, but I appreciate it. Like you guys keep blowing up the chat. I appreciate it. So I want to talk about pride. Okay. And we were couldn't help but talk about Pride Fighting Championships because that was the name, right? But what is the word pride? Okay. Again, I always go past just the definition that we see in the dictionary because that shit changes. And like we all read Orwell. Sometimes the powers that be change the meanings of words to suit them and hoodwink the average Joe. So I want to go to something I call etymology. Etymology is the history of the meaning of the word. So it's not just the current meaning, right? Like the word liberal. The word liberal used to mean somebody who believed in the policies of what is known today as a libertarian, right? So these are guys like Thomas Jefferson, the founding fathers largely. But over time, guys like Woodrow Wilson and these others co-opted and changed the meaning to where now it means the opposite. It means socialist, basically. Okay. So it's important in my mind to actually look at the etymology, the history of the meaning of the word. This is one of the things I picked up as an English degree major. I got my English major, my bachelor's in English at the University of Colorado Boulder. And I stumbled on this thing called the Oxford English Dictionary, and it's an etymological dictionary. Anyway, so let's go, and there's this great resource online. It's called Etym Online, ETYM online, etymonline.com. And you can look up words and dude, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but like I am a word nerd, dude. I'll get on there and I'll just look at this. I'm like, oh, this is so fascinating. Anyway, pride, a noun from the Middle English word pred, from the late Old English prito. Okay. And it means unreasonable self-esteem, especially as one of the deadly sins. Haughtiness, overbearing treatment of others, pomp, love of display. Now, I'm still reading from here. There is debate whether Scandinavian cognates, prid and the Danish prid, are borrowed from Old French, where it got it from Germanic, or from Old English. In Middle English, sometimes it's also positive, meaning, quote, proper pride, personal honor, good repute, exalted position, splendor. So it's very interesting here, right? So it could either mean overbearingness, like one of the deadly sins, like pride, how dare you be prideful, or it could also be positive in terms of like having proper pride, personal honor, good repute, exalted position, splendor. Also, quote unquote, prowess in spirit in an animal, or spirit in an animal. So prowess, like fighting prowess, ability, skill. Used in reference to, oh Lord, here we go. Used in reference to the erect penis from the 15th century. I'm just saying. So basically, Pride Fighting Championships could be interpreted as like, who has the best penis? I mean, I don't. This etymologically, that's what it's telling me here. Anyway, meaning that which makes a person or people most proud is from the 13th century. First applied to a group of lions in the 15th century. Yeah, so kind of interesting, right? So I'm curious, and I just would love to hear your feedback. Is pride in your mind? Is it good? Because there's one meaning where it's good, positive pride, or is it bad? Is it a sin? How do you interpret it in common language when you're talking about it and you're like, that's a proud person, or I'm proud of XYZ, my kids, of an accomplishment? Are you being sinful, or is it positive? I am going to say that it's positive. I personally believe pride is a good thing. And I believe that pride is earned, like respect. It's earned, okay? I think pride is self-respect. And you become proud because you bear witness to your own accomplishments or whatever it is that you're proud of. And you have some sort of relevant, like, counterbalance to judge it by. Does that make any sense? So pride can be good, or it could be bad. It depends who you talk to. If you're talking to a religious person, it might not be a good thing. If you're talking to somebody who is maybe secular, maybe not as religious, maybe they still are religious, but it's not the only thing by which they operate their mind, the only operating system in play. Um, Pride can be a very good thing, right? For me, pride, again, I'm pretty sure Pride Fighting Championships was not talking about penises, um, especially because they're Japanese, and I don't know that they even knew to go into the etymology. But they chose the word pride because I think they were talking about being proud of an accomplishment, of having fought there. To me, pride, notice they said spirit in an animal, or prowess. I think of pride, and honestly, I think of pride and I think of fighting spirit. I think of somebody who gets in there and fights their ass off, whether they lose or not, but they lay it all out on the line. To me, that is also at the heart of Shoot Pro Wrestling. When I'm pushing this, putting on shows, booking it, I am looking for guys that are not there fighting not to lose. There's a difference between fighting not to lose and fighting to win. The guy who's fighting to win might swing for the fences, might take bigger risks, which would expose him, right? Because risks come with either reward or, that's the balance. You can lose or you can win, but you're pushing it. You're taking risks. But they're calculated, they're smart, they're talented, they're skilled at their craft. Okay. So, yeah, pride. I think baby bottom feeder. I practice no pride fighting. I have no idea even what that means. No penis, or no self-respect, or no sinning. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, you religious people, is fighting a sin? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of interesting to me. But I do think it's tied to confidence. I think pride and confidence, they're not the same thing, but I think they're connected. And I think the difference is that somebody who has confidence, it kind of exudes and you can't help but show it. Whereas somebody who has pride goes out of the way to show their confidence. That's pretty much the only way that I can distinguish between the two, right? Anyway, I hope that helps. Guys, I have a huge weekend coming up. Again, like I said, it's not too late if you're in the Denver area. We do have a few spots left. Come out. You can go to coachandcatch.com, sign up, show up, right? Most of the success in life is about showing up. Get out here to one of these camps. It will absolutely change your game. You're going to love it. You're going to fall in love with Catch as Catch Can like I have. The greatest martial art sport. Johnny Colon, pain is temporary, but pride is forever. Something to it, right? I mean, it's even just a phrase. It's like a t-shirt, man. It's like, that's a great saying. But yeah, I'd love to see you guys. Again, I don't know if you guys know my argument why Catch as Catch Can is the single greatest martial art combat sport and possibly sport ever of all time in existence, in terms of impact, in terms of like influence. I don't know. Do you guys know that argument? Because I don't want to bore you with it. I'll do it real quick for those of you who don't know. Had Catch as Catch Can wrestling, the core, the heart of scientific wrestling, if Catch as Catch Can, what I learned from Billy, what I learned from Carl, what I learned from Dick Cardinal, learned a little bit with Fujiwara, with Gene LaBelle, I spent a lot of time really seeking this out. If Catch as Catch Can had not existed, this is why I make this argument. It's the most influential thing today. Oh, Brandon's piping in. What's he saying? Talking about pride again. He says, people today need pride in the sense of striving for excellence. Unfortunately, too many are having pride in things that are not excellent, merely self-serving, and ultimately destructive. Well, that's a very good point. And, we could even go into this like participation trophy culture that's so prevalent today. Yeah. So, and then Brandon says, pride as a concept needs proper balance or begins to corrode oneself. So, and I think that kind of goes to the original etymological root where it is got kind of two meanings. It could be proper pride, and it could also be sinful. Because I think that, you could be overbearing, right? Like too prideful. I think that's possible, but you could be too confident as well. And you could be too anything, right? That's just the function of the word too. It describes a particular state of being. So anyway, the reason why the catch is the biggest, greatest martial art combat sport and possibly sport ever in terms of its impact is because had catch as catch can never existed, okay, had it never existed, we wouldn't have the 118 years of freestyle Olympic wrestling and all the people that have taken place and watched, all the fans, all the athletes, all the coaches, all the people promoting it. That would not be there. That's a lot of people, okay? All the people in the same manner involved with folk style, meaning high school and collegiate wrestling in North America, in the United States, particularly. Okay. That's a lot of people. None of these people, they would have had to do something else. This is all the people that watch pro wrestling. I hate to break it to you, man. WWE is bigger than the NFL, reaches more people. More people watch it than the NFL and soccer. You can Google this shit. Okay. So you see where I'm going? Massive impact, bigger than any other sport, bigger than any other martial art, bigger than any combat sport. I mean, by leagues and bounds. And the funny thing is most people never heard of it. That's the crazy thing. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was developed by Count Koma Maeda in direct response to his experiences on the professional catch-as-catch-can wrestling circuits, prize fighting circuits. That's where he developed it. Okay. All of these, the first MMA was Shudo. So MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, professional wrestling, amateur folk style wrestling, Olympic wrestling, grappling. They would not, it has impacted all of those. So let's see. Matheson, 79, catch wrestling, 1820, 1870, 1900, 1950. Demigoon, AEW, WE, neither. Ishmael, Prince of Manlets, catch is an unsung hero. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to get across. And this comes with what I call grappling literacy, okay? So again, you can't stop people from ripping you off, but dude, man, if anybody's been ripped off, man, it's me. I mean, just look at the mace belt, dude. Look at all the people swinging mace and doing all that stuff, and catch wrestling. But anyway, grappling literacy is important. And when you actually have true grappling literacy and you're not biased trying to sell tapes on instructional tapes or certain styles of retail martial arts, when you actually look at the history, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. Catch as catch can is the king. Is number one, period. I mean, second place isn't even close and will never be close. The level of influence, the impact upon the number of people, the lives changed, the smiles brought to faces, and sometimes grimaces of pain. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. We're creeping in on an hour. I do have to get ready. I got a 2-day camp that I got to gear up for. And I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll try to be back. I know I wasn't here this week. Dude, I try to get on here every day that I can. But, yeah, man, it's just not. Sometimes it's difficult, right? It's difficult. So I appreciate everybody chiming in. And you guys have a great weekend. Guys, sign up. Remember, last reminder, I'm offering one more affiliate with the $2,000 early adopter bonus. The rest of them are gone, dude. We got 8. As soon as this guy signs, I got 8. But right now, if you DM me and we get going and you sign the papers, the next person will get the $2,000 off. That's it. Then we go to the next price point for the next 25. And then after that 25, then we go to the full price. So we are on our way. Didn't even take a half a year to hit that first target. So Johnny Cologne says, can't wait to learn. I should be going to the San Diego Accelerator. Dude, sweet, man. You're going to have a hell of a time. It's fun. It's fun because you get like exposed to such a broader skill, like conceptual ideas on how to approach grappling. Because the jiu-jitsu has a very like um, they've really thought out the pedagogy, the method of teaching, and it's very boop, 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 boop. This is very different, and it really I think opens a lot of people's minds to grappling in a different way that they enjoy. That's why I've been able to do this for 20 years professionally. And again, if you're on this mission with me, again, our mission at Scientific Wrestling is to improve the lives of every person on earth through scientific wrestling as either a fan, athlete, coach, promoter, or a combination of all of the above. If you're on that mission, let me know. Next one gets that discount. And be sure to go to coaching. If you don't own a fight gym, you can still get involved, start learning, come to an accelerator camp. Again, we got Phoenix, we got Denver's this weekend, we got Phoenix at the end of the month. And then November, we've got both Charlotte and San Diego. So hit me up, guys. You can hit me in the DMs. I message people. I'll talk to you on the phone. I'll give everybody a minute because this is my mission. This is my passion. I have other things that I do, of course, until this thing blows up like I believe it can. But I will make time if you're serious about helping me in this mission. So appreciate you guys. And I will catch you after the Accelerator Camp in Denver. Talk to you guys next week. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.